Welcome everybody. My name is Lindsay. I've got a nice gentle yoga class today, focusing on twists and some spring cleaning. So I have a strap nearby. We'll be using that strap today. You could make your way onto your mat, finding yourself in a comfortable seated position. So from our seated position, you might find Sukhasana or easy pose here, the cross-legged position, or you might find another pose, the knees bent or out straight, some variation there. And we'll begin by just rooting down into our base, feeling the sitting bones ground down into the floor, finding a little bit of engagement through the lower abdominal muscles, feeling that kind of drawing in of the belly button in towards the back of the body. And we're going to imagine that our spine is just getting a little longer, a little taller. The head reaches up high towards the sky. We'll take the shoulders, roll them forward, up, back, and down, just softly down. And we'll take a moment here to connect with the breath that we showed up with today. So you might enjoy closing your eyes here just to really feel into the breath, the moving of the breath in and out. Feeling the chest rise and lower. Feeling that natural rate of breath. Now we'll begin to turn on our yogic breath, the really intentional inhaling and exhaling. Feeling the belly expand with the inhale, feeling the chest expand with the inhale. Imagining that your chest and your belly are almost like a balloon that you can fill to capacity, that the upper lobes of the lungs and the lower lobes of the lungs are getting a bit of that spring cleaning as we inhale fully and exhale completely, drawing the air out of these areas. You might begin to turn on your ujjayi breath, a slight constriction through the neck and the throat, causing almost the sound of tree leaves rustling in the wind. I will keep this long, slow breath almost as a metronome for our practice today, keeping the pace of the breath long and slow, a little deeper, a little more full than the breath that we arrived with today. Now, if your hands are at your belly and your chest like they are mine, you can bring the hands down to the knees here. We'll lift and lengthen the spine, keeping that breath moving steadily and sweetly in and out. And we'll take a moment before we start moving to maybe dedicate today's class towards something or someone. I started thinking about spring and all the flowers that are blooming and the grass that's growing, the trees that are budding. And it made me think about things in my life that I would like to see grow and develop over this coming season. So maybe something with that theme could be your sankalpa, your dedication, your intention. We'll take another long breath here, visualizing that dedication, that intention. And we'll take that sankalpa and we'll plant it in our mental garden, kind of tucking it out of sight for now, but knowing that it's still there. And then we'll blink the eyes open. Let's take the opposite crossing in the legs here. If your legs are crossed, we're finding an alternate seated position. We'll find that lift and lengthen through the spine, belly draws in, shoulder blades back and down. We'll begin to draw fast and small circles with the top of the head on the sky, lubricating the upper portion of the spine. Now we'll take these circles in a slow and large shape. Slowing the circles down, making them nice and big so you can feel into all the different areas in the neck. Noticing any locations that are experiencing sensation. Taking the time to maybe note what you are experiencing. We'll take those circles in the opposite direction. I will pause our circles when we feel complete. Bringing the head up nice and tall and long. Roll the shoulder blades again, forward, up, back, and down. Taking that circle in the shoulders again, rolling them around and around. Noticing sensations as they arise, where maybe you feel sticky or tight. We'll pause our shoulder rolls in the back and down position. Now with the hands on the knees, we'll begin to take our big barrel rolls, swinging the chest around, drawing it back. Oof. Breathing into the different areas, making notes of where you are feeling, what you are feeling. Now we'll take these barrel rolls in the opposite direction. Noticing again, maybe how the sensation changes. Feeling into the whole spine. We'll finish up our final barrel roll, coming back up with a nice, long, tall spine. Head comes up last. We'll inhale, lift the arms up overhead, reaching the arms up nice and tall. Pull the shoulders down away from the ears, finding that extra space between the arms and the ears. We'll lower the left hand down towards the left side of the hips, reaching up with those right fingertips just a little bit more. We'll exhale, reach the right fingers over towards the left side of the mat. Feeling the sitting bones ground down into the floor, rooted. And you're getting a nice side body stretch here through the right side, but find a little bit of length, a little bit of expansion there through the left waist. Might bring the gaze down towards the fingertips. Pushing down through the left hand, we'll exhale, rise both arms back up. Taking an inhale at the top. We'll exhale, lower the left hand down towards the left side. The right hand down towards the right side of the hips, reaching up with the right fingers. Nice work. Drawing the abdominal muscles in, push through the right hands. We'll exhale, lift both arms. And we'll take this into a twist. Over to the left, place the right hand on the left knee. Left hand comes back behind the body. We'll use our inhale to lift and lengthen the spine, and the exhale to twist over to the left just a little bit more, bringing the gaze maybe over the left shoulder. Drawing the belly button back in, we'll exhale, rise back up, lifting the arms back up overhead, taking an inhale here. We'll exhale, twist over to the right, place the left hand on the right knee. Right hand comes back behind the body. We'll inhale to lift and lengthen, growing a little taller. And we'll exhale, twist a little deeper. Feeling your spine, get that little bit of a wringing out sensation. I'll draw the belly button back, and as we exhale, rising the arms back up, lifting the gaze up. As we exhale, bring the palms together up overhead, giving them a gentle squeeze, gently pressing the hands together, drawing the hands down in front of the face and ending up at heart center. Feeling that engagement through the shoulders and the chest muscles as you squeeze those hands together. Now we'll pause that squeeze, lowering the elbows down towards the body, warming up the wrist. We'll begin to point the fingers down towards the floor. And we'll lift the fingers back up towards the sky, warming up those wrist joints. Doing that again, pointing the fingers down, lifting the fingers back up. Last time, point the fingers down, lift the fingers back up. Now bringing the hands into knuckles, we'll begin to roll the knuckles over each other. Noticing again any sensation. Getting the fluid moving between the joints in our hands. I'll pause and reverse the direction of the wrist rolls. Fantastic. Finishing up our last wrist roll, bringing the hands back down towards the knees. We'll roll the shoulders again, forward, up, back, and down, finding that nice length in the spine. We'll uncross the legs and bring the soles of the feet together into our bound angle pose. Pulling the heels in maybe a little closer towards the sitting bones. Maybe walking the sitting bones a little closer to the toes, to the heels. We'll take a moment here to massage our feet, opening the soles of the feet out towards the sky. We'll just give ourselves a few moments here to lend some warmth and some softness to our feet, massaging out the toes, the toe mounds, the arches of the feet, the heels, helping to soften and relax the muscles and the fascia in the feet. Great work. We'll pause that foot massage, bringing the soles of the feet back together. We'll grab onto the tops of the toes, lift and lengthen the spine, pulling the shoulder blades down the back, drawing the belly in. And as you exhale, hinge forward from the hips, leaning forward over the legs. You might bend the elbows and use the elbows to help open the knees out towards the side. When you can bend no more, then we will slowly start to round down over the toes. Releasing vertebrae by vertebrae. Moving nice and slow. You might find some movement here in the head and the neck, nodding the head gently, yes and no, maybe taking some half circles. You can keep the feet bound, or you can walk the hands out nice and long, feeling a spread along the upper middle portion of the back. And these forward folds are nice times for introspection. We're pulled into ourselves. It's a little darker here. We might choose to revisit our intention or our dedication in our forward folds. On your next exhale, drawing the belly button in, we'll slowly ragdoll ourselves back up to seated. Grabbing onto the toes one more time, lift and lengthen the spine, drawing the shoulders down, maybe noticing that stretch along the upper portion of the neck and shoulders. And then we'll slowly soften, releasing the toes. We're going to help our knees come back together, keeping a nice bend in the knees. Walking the hands back behind the hips. We'll take a moment here and windshield wiper the knees from side to side. Helping integrate that wide angle in the hips, a little bit of movement. We'll find our stillness here. Knees point up towards the sky. Hands still planted back behind the hips. We'll broaden the collarbones. Find a slight tuck in the chin. Setting up for our boat pose, our Navasana. Taking a nice big inhale to prepare. And we'll exhale, lift the shins up towards the sky. Finding that balance on the sitting bones. Begin to extend the hands out towards the toes. Drawing the belly in. Back to center, right side. Continuing our boat twist. You can park your boat whenever you would like. We'll just spend another 2 breaths here. Coming back to center, release the feet. Grabbing on behind the thighs, taking our seated cat-cow. We'll inhale, lift up, look up. Exhale, round down, roll down. Inhale, lift up, look up. Exhale, round down, roll down. Inhale, lift up, look up. Exhale, walk the hands back behind the hips, finding that long, straight spine. Shoulder blades pull back and down, belly draws in, taking an inhale for our second boat. And as you exhale, lifting the shins up towards the sky. Finding that engagement through the belly. As your balance is ready, we'll extend the hands out in front of us. And again, we'll take those twists. Bring the palms together and lower the hands from side to side. This time you can move at the rate that you would like. Might be faster, might be slower. There might be no rowing if you're just like, yeah, it's not my thing. Keep breathing wherever you are. Last one. And then release, grabbing on behind the thighs. Take that seated cat-cow again. Lifting up, looking up. Exhale, rounding down, rolling down. Inhale, lifting up, looking up. Exhale, rounding down, rolling down. Lift up, look up. Exhale, round down. Nice work. Making our way back up. We'll roll over the legs and meet up in our tabletop position. The wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath hips. We'll draw the belly in gently as we find some bear pose. Finding some free movement here. Moving through the side bodies, maybe stretching down into child's pose. Finding a little bit of movement. Following your intuition. Rocking back, rocking forward, finding some movement here that feels really nice in your body today. Taking another breath here in bear. And then we'll find our stillness. Checking in with our position, our wrists are underneath our shoulders still. We might claw the mat a little bit with the fingertips and push into the palms, feeling the shoulder blades spread on the back of the body. That slight tuck of the belly in towards the spine. Feeling that firmness in our tabletop position. Now in honor again of twist day, we'll extend the left leg back behind us, taking our 50-50 plank with a twist. We'll extend the right arm out in front of us. Nice length through the arm and the leg. Maybe imagine that they're getting a little longer on either side. And then we'll open the leg out towards the left, the arm towards the right. Bringing the arm and the leg back to center line and drawing the elbow and the knee underneath the body, maybe to touch. Extending the arm and the leg out nice and long. Open them out towards the sides. Bring them back to center line. Elbow and knee underneath the body, maybe to touch. Last one, extend out nice and long. Open them out towards the sides. Back to center line. Elbow and knee under the body, maybe to touch. Extending the arm and the leg out. Drop the hand, drop the knee, rock back into child's pose. Bringing the hips over the heels. Taking a moment to stretch out, maybe find some movement in the wrists, the hands, the fingers. Feeling your breath slow back to that long, deep yogic breath. Planting the hands back out in front of us, gazing at the fingertips, we'll exhale, rock back into our tabletop. Finding that whole setup, pushing into the palms, feeling the shoulders spread, slight drawing in of the belly button, taking our 50-50 plank on the other side, extending the right leg back behind you, lifting the leg up nice and long, toes swivel down towards the floor, hips stay square. Getting light in the left fingertips, we'll slowly extend the left arm out in front of you, feeling this nice length. We'll slowly open the leg and the arm out towards the sides. Pull them back into center line, elbow and the knee come underneath the body, maybe to touch. Extend the arm and the leg out again, nice and long. Open them out towards the sides. Draw them back into center line. Elbow and the knee, maybe coming under the body to touch. Last one, extend out nice and long. Open out towards the sides. Back to center line. Elbow and the knee underneath the body. Extend back out. Plant the hand, plant the knee, child's pose. Bringing the hips over the heels. Again, any sort of movement in the wrists and the hands might feel really nice for getting the blood flow going there. We'll take our child's pose over to the left, walking the hands, walking the torso over towards the left side of the mat. Walking the hands back to center and then over to the right side of the mat. Bringing the hands back to center. Plant the hands up at the top of the mat. Bring the gaze towards the fingertips. As you exhale, rock forward into our tabletop. Tuck the toes back behind you. Lift the hips up towards the sky, coming into our downward facing dog. Taking a few moments here to pedal out the feet. Getting a little bit of movement through the legs. Notice your shoulders are spreading towards the outer edges of the back. Try to avoid keeping, like crunching down into your shoulders. Really lift and push through the arms and the hands. We'll bring the gaze up towards the fingertips. As you exhale, tippy toe the feet up towards the hands. Meeting up in our forward fold. Feet are hips distance apart. Taking a moment, we might grab opposite elbows. Enjoying a few breaths here in this forward folds, allowing a gentle sway maybe in the back or some movement in the head and the neck. Nice work. Pausing our rock, we'll release opposite elbows with a gentle bend in the knee, slowly ragdolling ourselves all the way up to standing. Reaching the top, rolling the shoulder blades back and down, feeling that nice length through the spine. Finding our Tadasana mountain pose. Feet are planted, weight is equally distributed in the front and the back of the feet. Gentle bend in the knees, engagement through the thighs and the calves, slight tuck of the tailbone. Shoulder blades back and down, head reaches up nice and tall. Nice work. I'll inhale, lift the arms up overhead, lifting the gaze up. As you exhale, open up the arms, swan dive forward, hinge from the hips, keeping the belly nice and engaged, coming all the way down. Just following our breath, place the hands on the shins. We'll inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. That gentle bend in the knee, will inhale, rise up all the way, lifting the arms up overhead, lifting the gaze up. Exhale, hands come through heart center. Nice work. Keeping that foundation in the legs, we'll inhale, lift the arms up overhead, imagining that you're catching a big beach ball. Draw the shoulder blades down away from the back so you've got this nice space between the hands. Lift down so you can see me. There we go. We're going to take this beach ball and we're going to pass it over to the left. As you exhale, reach the fingers over towards the left side of the mat. Push the hips maybe a little over to the right, keeping the collarbone shining towards the wall, and feel that sensation in the feet. You've got equal weight planted in the 2 feet. Making any adjustments that you might need to. Now we'll draw the belly in, exhale, rise back up to center. Taking an inhale here at the top. Exhale, pass the beach ball over to the right. Maybe push the hips over to the left a little bit, reground the feet so they feel equally planted. Shoulder blades draw down the back, finding that extra space between the ears and the arms. Nice work. Drawing the belly in, exhale, rise back up. Now passing this beach ball back behind us. Push the hips forward, lift the gaze up. Exhale, reach that beach ball back. We'll draw the belly in. Do exhale again, rise back up. Open up the arms, swan dive forward, hinge from the hips, coming all the way back down. Place the hands on the shins. Inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Sit the hips back nice and deep, sitting down into a chair. As we inhale, lift the arms up, lift the gaze up. Chair pose. Exhale, rise to stand. We're going to use our breath and our body to move through a sun salutation. Inhale, lift the arms up, gazing up. Exhale, open the arms out, swan diving forward, hinge from the hips, coming all the way down. Place the hands on the shins. Inhale, rise up halfway. As you exhale, forward fold, plant the hands at the top of the mat, step the legs to the back, finding our plank pose. Taking a moment here. As you exhale, either lowering the knees or keeping the knees lifted, bending the elbows, lowering the chest all the way down towards the floor. Our inhale will find our low cobra or our up dog. As you exhale, lowering back down, planting the knees or rising back up through plank, lifting the hips up towards the sky, downward facing dog. Meeting up in our downward dog, however you'd like to get there. Pedal the feet a few times, stretching out the back. Feeling the breath. I'll bring the gaze back up towards the fingertips. As you exhale, walk the feet back up towards the hands, finding that forward fold. Place the hands on the shins. Inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. As you inhale, rise all the way back up, lifting the arms back up overhead. Exhale, bring the hands down through heart center. Now, bend the knees, push the hips back, finding that chair pose. Again, we'll inhale, lift the arms up overhead. Taking this into a twist, bring the hands down through heart center. Twisting over to the left, place the right elbow over towards the left knee, finding our twisted chair. Belly draws in. As you exhale, releasing back into your forward folds, coming back into center, giving the legs a little break, straightening the legs, finding that Uttanasana forward fold. Nice work. Bend the knees, sit the hips back nice and deep. Bring the hands back to heart center. And then we'll take this twist over to the other side. Bring the left elbow to the right knee, finding that twisted chair. Notice if one knee is ahead of the other, aim to bring the knees back to parallel with each other. Your next exhale, find your Uttanasana forward fold, releasing the arms back over the legs, straightening the legs, giving our legs a little break here. From our forward fold, place the hands on the shins. We'll inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands at the top of the mat. Extend the legs back into our plank position. As you exhale, either lowering the knees into our Ardha Chaturanga Dandasana or keeping the knees lifted. Bending the elbows, lowering the chest all the way back down onto the floor. As you inhale, push into the hands, either rising up into low cobra or pushing into the hands, lifting the hips up off the ground, gazing up for our upward facing dog. As you exhale, lowering the chest back down towards the floor. Taking a breath. Your next exhale will rise you up into downward facing dog. Tucking the toes, lifting the hips up towards the sky. Pedaling the feet, taking a breath. Feeling nice and calm here. Bringing the gaze up towards the hands. As you exhale, walk the feet up towards the top of the mat. Feet hips distance apart, finding that forward fold. And we'll place the hands on the shins. Inhale, rise up halfway. Extending the spine, belly draws in. And then exhale, forward fold. Gentle bend in the knees as we inhale, slowly rise ourselves all the way up, lifting the arms back up overhead. Exhale, hands come down through heart center. Nice work. We'll plant down through the right foot, feeling solid and firm in the right leg, squeezing the right glutes. You're gonna find a little bit of balance. As you exhale, lift the left knee up towards the sky, like you're gonna step up onto a box. Feeling that engagement through the right leg. Your next exhale slowly extends the left leg back behind you, planting the leg down, setting up for our warrior one, lowering the heel down, back foot, left toes point towards the upper left corner of the mat. From here, you might heel toe the right foot out towards the right just a little bit, taking a more wide stance. Tuck the tailbone down, lifting and lengthening the spine. Bend that right knee a little more, and then inhale, lift the arms up overhead, finding this nice, strong warrior. Breathing here. Feeling that engagement through the legs, that slight tuck of the tailbone. Nice work. Bring the hands to heart center. Lift the back heel up off the ground, finding the setup for our crescent lunge. So the left heel is lifted up off the ground. Hips are still pointed in roughly that same direction, pointing towards the short edge of the mat. Extending the arms back up overhead, this crescent lunge. Now we'll bring the arms out straight in front of us, taking this into a twisted crescent. So the arms are pointed what would be maybe 3 o'clock. We'll take the right hand and we'll swing it down to 6 o'clock. And then extend the arm back behind us, bringing it all the way to 9 o'clock. Feeling those collarbones open over the right leg. Breathing steady and slow. Now slowly lowering the right hand back down to 6 o'clock, coming to meet it back up with the left hand. Bring the hands to heart center, bringing the gaze to the top of the mat. We'll exhale, push into the right leg. Find that stepping up on a box position with the left foot, lifting that leg up, finding that balance again momentarily. Then we'll exhale, slowly plant the foot back down towards the floor. Nice work. Extending the hands down towards the floor, feeling our Tadasana mountain pose. Nice work. Well, inhale, lift the arms up overhead, lift the gaze up. As you exhale, open up the arms, swan dive forward, hinge from the hips. Coming all the way back down. Place the hands on the shins. Inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Planting the hands and either taking that sun salutation vinyasa flow or coming to just rest in our downward facing dog. You're taking the flow, extend the legs out into plank pose. As you exhale, lowering down through chaturanga. The inhale, you'll rise up in that back bend, either little cobra or upward facing dog. And then pushing to come back up into our downward facing dog. Taking a few breaths here in down dog, catching our breath. Nice work. We'll lift the gaze up towards the hands, walk the feet up towards the top of the mat. Feet hips distance apart. Place the hands on the shins. Inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rising all the way up, lifting the arms up overhead, lifting the gaze up. Exhale, hands come down through heart center. Now feel that rooted sensation through the left leg, left glute, left foot. Everything is active and engaged. As you exhale, finding that stepping up on a box position with the right foot, lifting the right leg, right thigh up towards the sky. Feeling that sense of balance here, taking a nice big breath. As you exhale, extend the right leg back behind you, planting the right foot down on the floor about 3 feet behind us, lowering the heel down towards the ground. Feeling our warrior legs set up. Might heel toe the left leg out towards the left just a little bit more, getting a more broad stance. Right heel is down, right toes point towards the upper right corner of the mat. Take that slight tuck in the tailbone, lifting the spine, bend the left knee over the left ankle, and then lift the arms up overhead, feeling that nice, strong, calm warrior. Breathing here, steady and slow. Nice work. Feeling those legs engaged, feeling strong. Bring the hands to heart center. Lift up your right heel, finding that crescent lunge. That same tuck in the tailbone, just a very subtle change in the pose. The back heel just comes up. Now we'll extend the arms out in front of us, like they're at 3 o'clock. We'll take that twisted crescent on the other side, lowering the left hand down towards 6 o'clock, extending the arm all the way back to 9 o'clock, feeling those collarbones open over the left leg. Taking that nice, long, slow breath here. Twists are amazing for our digestive functions. They help get our spine all healthy, moving new fluid through the vertebrae and the discs. We'll slowly bring that left hand back down towards 6 o'clock out in front of us. Bring the hands back to heart center. Bring the gaze in front of that left foot. As you exhale, find that stepping up on a box pose, lifting that right leg back up. And then we'll plant the foot back down towards the ground. We'll inhale, lift the arms up overhead, lifting the gaze up. Exhale, opening up the arms, swan dive forward, hinge from the hips, coming all the way down, forward fold. Place the hands on the shins. Inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands at the top of the mat. Step the legs back, finding plank pose. As you exhale, slowly lowering your way all the way down onto the ground. Pushing into the hands, take that back bend, lifting up, looking up in either cobra or upward facing dog. And we'll exhale, slowly lower the head and chest back down onto the floor. From here, we're gonna move into Sphinx pose. Plant the elbows underneath the shoulders. Push into the elbows. We'll inhale, lift the chest, lift the gaze up. As you exhale, draw the chin down towards the chest. Draw the right ear towards the right shoulder. And then draw the left ear towards the left shoulder. Take a few of these half circles in the head and the neck. Feeling into any of those spots. Nice work. We'll pause our head rolls. Lifting the gaze back up to neutral. We'll take this into an arm floss. Bring the left hand into the center of the mat. Push through the left arm. As you inhale, lift the right arm up towards the sky. And as you exhale, take this right hand and thread it underneath that left arm. Lowering down onto your right upper arm. Maybe resting your face on your left hand. And finding some softness here, allowing the legs to completely be soft. And use your breath to help soften any muscles in the upper body, in the middle back, in the legs that don't need to be active. Nice work. Starting to unwind. Bring the left arm back to where it started. Push through the left arm. We'll inhale, rise that right arm back up towards the sky. Exhale, dropping the right arm back down into our Sphinx pose. Bring the right hand into the center of the mat. Push into the right arm. We'll inhale, lift the left arm up towards the sky. And then as you soften, place that left arm underneath, threading the arm, lowering the left forearm down towards the ground. Coming to rest, maybe the face on the right hand. And again, take that time to just really soften all the muscles in the legs, the hips, the lower back. Just softening and releasing. Feeling the shoulders expand, the chest expand with every breath. We'll bring the gaze back to neutral, slowly unwinding ourselves. Bring the right arm back to where it started. Push through the right arm. We'll inhale, lift the left arm back up towards the sky. Exhale, lower the left arm back down towards the ground. Nice work. Bringing the palms back underneath the shoulders, squeezing the elbows in towards the body. Keep the knees planted down on the floor. We'll exhale, push through the hands, rising up through our half chaturanga. And then we'll exhale, lower the hips over the heels, coming into our child's pose. Softening down again, feeling that child's pose. Allow the hips to really spread open, nice and wide, lowering the face down towards the ground. Just taking a moment here. Revisiting your intention, your dedication. We'll bring the gaze back up towards the fingertips, walking the hands over to the knees. We'll lift the shoulders up over the hips, finding our Virasana warrior pose. From here, we'll roll the shoulder blades back and down, belly draws in, hands on thighs, take a nice deep breath. Calming ourselves down. From this Virasana pose, we're just going to move the hips over to the right, keeping that bend in the knee, finding our Bhardvajasana or mermaid twist. The feet will come over to the left side of the hips. We'll try to push the left hip down towards the floor just a little bit more, reaching up through that right side body. Well, inhale, lift the arms up overhead. As you exhale, twist over to the right. Place the left hand on the right thigh. Right hand comes back behind the hips. Well, inhale, lift and lengthen the spine, growing a little taller, drawing the belly in. As you exhale, twist over to the right just a little bit more. We'll bring ourselves back to neutral. Place the hands on either side of the legs. We're going to help our hips over to the other side of the feet. So moving the feet over to the right side of the hips come to the left side of the legs. Aiming to bring that right hip down just a little bit closer towards the floor. So just, bringing that right booty just a little closer. Lifting up through that left side. We'll inhale, lift the arms up overhead. As you exhale, twist over to the left. Bring the right hand to the left knee. Left hand comes back behind the hips. Your inhales help you grow taller. Exhales help you twist a little deeper. Drawing the belly in, we'll slowly unwind, untwist, lifting the arms back up, coming through neutral. We'll exhale, bring the hands through heart center. We'll take the legs and we'll extend them out nice and long. Finding our Dandasana staff pose. Legs extend out. Taking a moment here to move some of the meat from underneath our sitting bones, really grounding down into our root. We'll roll the shoulder blades back and down. Feel that nice length through the spine. We'll inhale, lift the arms up overhead, lifting the gaze up. As you exhale, drawing the belly in, we'll hinge forward from the hips, leaning over the legs. Place the hands down by the legs. We'll push into the hands, take a little energetic back bend as we inhale, lift up, look up. As you exhale, begin to round down softly over the legs. Taking this into our Paschimottanasana, our western side stretch, allowing ourselves to find a little bit of softness here. You might bend the knees a little bit, helping yourselves round down into the pose. You might find a little bit of movement, very soft and gentle in the head and the neck, feeling into those different areas in the shoulder and the upper back. Softening any engagement in the abdominal muscles, just allowing ourselves some softness throughout the body. You might revisit your intention or your dedication. As you exhale, drawing the belly in, slowly ragdolling ourselves back up to seated. From here, we'll roll the shoulder blades back and down. Bend the right knee, pulling the right heel in towards the body. We'll grab onto that right knee with both hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen the spine. As you exhale, twist over to the right. Place the left elbow around the right knee. Pull the right arm back behind you like you're plucking a bowstring. Plant the right hand back behind the hips. We'll inhale, lift and lengthen, growing a little taller. And we'll exhale, twist a little deeper. Finding our Marichiasana twist. You might find that you'd like to bring the left elbow to the outside of the right knee, getting a slightly deeper twist today. On your next exhale, slowly unwind, untwist, passing back through center. We'll grab onto that right knee with both hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen, growing a little taller. This time twisting over to the left, wrapping the right elbow around the right knee, pulling that left arm back behind you, planting the hand down by the hips. So some bind variations for those of you that are looking for a little more opening across the chest and shoulders. You can bring that left hand back behind you, reaching towards the right hip. That's one variation. Another variation, you can bring the right elbow to the inside of the right knee. If you'd like, you can extend the right hand out towards the left toes. Swivel the thumb down towards the ground, reaching forward just a little bit more. You'll bend that elbow, reaching around behind the knee, maybe interlacing the fingers. Finding that little lift and lengthen through the spine here. Our next exhale, release, coming back through center. Grabbing onto that knee one more time. Inhale, lift and lengthen. This time on the exhale, open the right knee out towards the right side of the room. Plugging the right foot in towards the left thigh. Drawing the belly in, feeling nice and tall here. Taking this into a variation of our Janu Shirsasana. We'll extend the left hand towards the left toes, bringing the left hand to the inside of the mat. The right hand will reach up and over towards those toes, getting that side body stretch here. So the collarbones shine towards the wall instead of towards the floor this time. Feeling that shape. On your next exhale, slowly bringing the right hand down towards the floor, over by the left hand. Place the left hand back on the left side of the left leg. We'll inhale, lift and lengthen the spine, pivot the collarbones over the left leg. As you exhale, slowly round down over the left leg, taking our classic Janu Shirsasana. Finding that little bit of movement here, maybe in the head and the neck, might feel nice. You might enjoy walking the right hand to the outside of the left leg. Great. Walk the hands back to either side of that left leg, slowly drawing the belly up, and as you roll your spine nice and tall. Head comes up last, roll the shoulder blades back and down, help that right leg out towards the left. Give the legs a little movement, a little jiggle, a little shake. And then we'll pause that, flexing the toes back up towards the sky. Find your Dandasana staff pose. Hands come down by the hips, spine nice and tall and long, belly draws in. Now we'll bend the left knee, pulling the left heel in towards the left sitting bones. Finding a Marichiasana twist. Placing the hands on the knee, we'll inhale, lift and lengthen the spine, growing a little taller, pulling the shoulders away from the ears. As you exhale, hook that right elbow around the left knee. Pull that bowstring back with the left hand, plant the hand down by the hips. We'll inhale, lift and lengthen, growing a little taller. We'll exhale, twist a little deeper, maybe bringing the gaze over towards the left shoulder. For a little extra twist, you can bring that right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Your next exhale, slowly untwist. Coming back through center, we'll grab onto that left knee again with both hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen the spine, growing nice and tall. As you exhale, twist over to the right, wrapping that left elbow around the left knee. Right hand comes back behind you, planting down by the hips. We'll inhale, lift and lengthen, growing a little taller. Exhale, twisting maybe a little deeper. Those again that would like to take maybe a half or the full bind, you can bring that right hand back behind the hips, reach that right hand towards the left hip. Left hand will come to the inside of the left leg, reaching towards the right toes. Swivel the thumb down towards the ground. You'll bend the elbow, wrapping the arm around the leg, reaching the hands back behind you, and then lengthening up the spine, feeling that nice broadness, that expansion across the chest. Breathing steady and slow. Next, exhale, unwind, untwist, releasing the hands, coming back through center. Lifting and lengthening the spine again by grabbing onto that knee. And slowly lower the left knee out towards the left side of the mat. Face positions here for you. From here, we'll extend the right hand out towards the right toes, planting the right hand on the inside of the right foot. Left arm will swing up and over, moving nice and slow, creating almost like a rainbow shape with those left fingers pointing towards the right toes. Feeling the collarbones shine towards the wall. So a variation, our twisted Janu Shirsasana. Getting that side angle stretch, that side, lower, middle back. Our next exhale will transition into our classic Janu Shirsasana, bringing the left arm down towards the floor, moving nice and slow with control. Place the right hand on the other side of the right foot. We'll push in through both hands, lifting and lengthening the spine. Pivot the collarbones over the right leg, getting that little mini back bend here as we inhale, lift up, look up. And then we'll exhale, slowly start to round down over that right leg, moving nice and slow, finding the softness in the head, the neck, maybe wagging the head, nodding the head, yes and no. Nice work. Finding that stillness again. We'll draw the belly button back in. As you exhale, slowly begin to ragdoll yourselves all the way back up. Rolling the shoulder blades back and down. Extend the left leg out nice and long. Finding that Dandasana staff pose. Again, pulling the shoulder blades back and down. Feeling this nice expansion through the chest. The belly draws in. We'll inhale, lift the arms up overhead, lifting the gaze up. We'll take our second Paschimottanasana, leaning forward, drawing the belly in, hinge from the hips, nice long spine. We'll plant the hands outside of the legs, push into the hands, take that little energetic back bend as you inhale, lift up, look up. Exhale, rounding down, rolling down over the legs. You might notice that you're able to get a little deeper into this forward fold second time around. Allowing the head to hang a little heavy here. Revisit that dedication, that intention, enjoying just a little bit of quietness here in our forward fold. Now redraw the belly button in as you exhale. Ragdoll yourself back up to seated. Head comes up last, roll the shoulder blades back and down. Now we'll bend the knees. We'll make our way onto our back, rolling ourselves down onto the floor. We'll take a moment here, pulling the knees into the chest, enjoying a little bit of Apanasana, or I guess turning into a ball pose. Taking time to rock gently from side to side, relaxing, releasing the lower back. We'll plant the feet back down onto the ground, hips distance apart, knees hips distance apart. Bring the hands down by the hips, plant the hands down, palms into the floor. Take a little tuck of the tailbone, drawing the tailbone towards the heels, bringing the sacrum down towards the floor just a little bit more. Drawing the belly button in, we're setting up for our bridge pose. Taking an inhale here to prepare. Now as we exhale, slowly lifting the hips up towards the sky. Pushing them up, getting a little stretch on the fronts of the thighs. If you'd like to take this a little deeper, we'll gently begin to walk the shoulders underneath the body, bring the hands underneath the hips. You might interlace the fingers under the hips, lifting those hips up nice and tall. Breathing here, steady and slow. Our next exhale, release the hands, unwind the shoulders, lower the hips back down to the floor. When the hips make contact with the ground, open the arms up into cactus arms, and we'll gently windshield wiper the knees from side to side. Finding stillness, bringing the knees back up towards the sky, then extend the legs out nice and long. Find your strap. Bring the strap to the hands. Flex both toes to point towards the sky. Draw the right knee in towards the chest. Place the strap at the bottom of the right foot. Slowly extend the right leg up towards the sky. Keeping those left toes actively pointed towards the sky, we'll take the strap into the right hand. Bring the left hand onto the left hips. Moving slowly with your breath, we'll exhale, open the right leg out towards the right side of the room. Breathing nice and steady and slow, finding that sensation and breathing into it, using the breath, steady and calm. Now use that core strength, leg strength, arm strength. Exhale, lift the right leg back up towards the sky. We'll grab the straps with both hands. As you exhale, slowly lift the head, the chest up towards that right knee. Maybe hover the left heel up off the ground, feeling like you're getting a little closer. Then we'll exhale, slowly soften and release the head back down towards the floor. Take the strap into the left hand, extend the right arm out towards the right, keeping the shoulders grounded. So you exhale, lower the right leg across the body to the left side of the mat. Softening the left leg, softening the belly, maybe bringing the gaze over towards the right fingertips. We'll bring the gaze back up towards the sky, draw the belly back in. As you exhale, lift that right leg back up towards the sky. Reflex the left toes to point towards the ceiling. Grab the straps with both hands. As you exhale, slowly lift the head, the chest up towards the left knee, getting a little closer. And then exhale, slowly soften and release the head, the chest back down towards the floor. Release the right leg, slowly drawing a long line with that right heel all the way down towards the ground. When the heel reaches down, allow the toes to fall out towards the outer edges of the mat. Noticing a difference in sensation between the two legs. Now we'll flex both toes to point again towards the sky. Draw the left knee into the chest this time. Place the strap at the bottom of the left foot. Extend the leg up nice and long. Keeping those right toes flexed up towards the sky, we'll take the strap into the left hand. Bring the right hand to the right hip, keeping those hips grounded. We'll exhale, allow that left leg to open out towards the left side of the room. Breathing nice and steady and slow here. Feeling that sensation. Into the leg, to the thigh. I'll draw the belly back in as you exhale, slowly lift the left heel back up towards the sky. Grabbing onto the straps with both hands. We'll exhale, lift the head, the chest back up towards the left knee. Feeling like you might be getting a little closer. Hover the right heel up off the ground if that feels like something you'd like to do today. See about getting a little closer maybe. And then exhale, slowly lower the head and chest back down towards the floor. Take the strap into the right hand, extend the left arm out towards the left, moving slowly with your breath. Allow that left leg to come down to the right side of the mat. Softening the right leg, softening the belly. Maybe bringing the gaze over to the left shoulder, the left fingers. Bring the gaze back up towards the sky. Draw the belly button back in. On your exhale, slowly lift the left heel back up towards the sky. Reflex the right toes. Grab the straps with both hands. As you exhale, lift the head, the chest up towards the left knee. Finding that little bit of lift and length and getting maybe a little closer. Then we'll exhale, slowly lower the head, the chest back down towards the floor. Release the left foot, place the strap off to the side. Draw that long line with the left heel. When it reaches down, allow the toes to fall out towards the outer edges of the mat. So enjoying that sensation of the feet feeling stretched out, the legs feeling stretched out, the hips feeling stretched out. We'll begin to transition into our Shavasana pose. So if there's any additional poses or movements that you would like to take before coming to rest in our final resting position, you are more than welcome to do so. For our classic Shavasana, allow the toes to fall out towards the outer edges of the mat. Legs are a little wider than hips, distance apart. Hands come down by the hips, palms face the sky. A slight tuck of the shoulders back behind you, and the eyelids close. Release the yogic breath. Allow the breath to move naturally in and out of the body. Taking all this time to really allow our practice to integrate into our body. All that twisting, all that wringing out of our organs, of our spine, of our joints, of our lymphatic system. Allowing ourselves to feel wrung out and cleaned. fresh and renewed. Soften the muscles between the eyebrows. Soften the muscles of the jaw. Soften any other areas that might be holding residual tension. Slowly begin to bring a little bit of movement back into your fingers and your toes. Taking a nice deep breath here, maybe finding some larger movements in the arms and the legs, starting to stretch out. Without any rush, without any urgency, we'll begin to make our way over onto our side body. Pausing for a moment here. And begin to gently help yourself into a comfortable seated position. Eyes can stay closed or the gaze softly lowered. Hands can rest on the knees or come together at heart center. We'll take a nice, big, collective breath here. Inhaling fully, filling the belly, filling the chest, pausing at the top. And open the mouth and sigh it out. I want to thank you all so much for your practice today, for your growth, for your intentions, your dedications, for your taking the time for your health and wellness. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Namaste.